The prosecutors submitted new footage linking Melly to the passing of Sakchaser and Juvy. They did this to stop his chances of receiving a bond, and it worked, showing the newly added Judge Fiend that Melly exits the rap studio first between Sakchaser, Juvy, and Bortlen, and sits in the back left seat of the Jeep to get ready.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
The official court documents read, "The direction of the bullets, traveling from left to right in the car, supports the claim that the shots originated from the back left seat, where Melly was positioned. Even Juvy's mother confirmed he was there."
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But what you didn't know is the prosecutor's sneaky plan. The news wrote, "A no communication order has been filed in the Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Bortlen completely separate. No talking, no lawyer talk, just silence." As the prosecutors want to prevent them communicating and making a plan, because they want to try both Bortlen and Melly together.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking the penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Because if the prosecutors try them together, they can use Bortlen's interrogation from the night of the crime, which shows that Bortlen was trying to cover up something about the crime.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car,
hey, well, Ashley,
and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway. Yeah.
Then you took 75 south?
It's clear to the officers Bortlen's story isn't adding up to anything, but Bortlen tries to stay confident in the interrogation.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, son. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
But the interrogation only got worse. Bortlen gets angry because the officers refuse to believe his story.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. And we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
Once the suspect shuts down the interrogation like Bortlen began doing, it's up to the officer to get them to continue talking and open up about any details they can get from Bortlen, as it allows them to use his own words against him later on, whether he says the story in a different way or says too much, as the investigator wanted to hear what Bortlen did while the drive-by went down.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
But in a weird move by the investigator, he put the pressure on Bortlen by asking him, if you know who did this, would you tell me?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be.
Rather than answering, Bortlen just shakes his head no, as he didn't want to say his answer with a voice crack, or in a different way that he's answered the rest of the interview. Because Bortlen knows if his body language is off at all, the officer will know he's lying, and could give reason for the officers to press further. But the scariest part of the situation, if it comes down to Bortlen dealing with a prison sentence for this crime, he won't hesitate to throw the blame to Melly, because in the first trial, Melly's lawyer already tried pinning the blame on Bortlen.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
As they showed, it was always Bortlen who lied to the feds, and that he had firearm powder on his hands, meaning either he was the one who did it or was right there as it happened, as a forensic scientist talked about how the powder on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of shot residue and 2 component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of shot residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was shot residue present on the hands.
Bortlen hated that Melly's team did this against him, which is why when Melly got a mistrial, he tweeted out, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji, as if he's accepting some sort of deal. However, another problem on Melly's hands is his ex-girlfriend showing back up in the country, because she's been missing since the original trial that she was supposed to testify in, and now the feds have got a hold of her.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
As the deal for Mariah to be released is that she will be present and testify in the Melly trial, and it's rumored that Melly and her had a call on the night of the crime, meaning any information she has could be extremely valuable to the feds' investigation. But once she was released, she wrote on Facebook, "Thank you to my village. I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." They found disturbing evidence in Mariah's iCloud dropout account relating to Melly forcing her not to testify in trial, which is known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sakchaser and Juvy.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
But the craziest thing is that Melly's been off the jail phones and any human contact for nearly a year. As it was so bad, his mother did an interview and spoke about it.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But the main reason for him being revoked those privileges is because they believe Melly was using the jail phone to commit witness tampering, and is possibly how he received a mistrial the first time around. But it's not completely terrible for Melly. He has one more chance at bond before his trial in September. As lawyers wrote, Melly's legal team proposed posting an unspecified bond that would be paid by his record label, 300 Entertainment. If granted bond, they assured the judge that Melly would be on house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and hire round-the-clock security to keep tabs on him. It was so good, a rapper wrote, "That boy Melly coming home, I feel it," as Melly's mother would share this on IG Live.
We just still praying. I know I said I would give, I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
As they are trying to get Melly out because he's not being treated like a human inside of jail, which is illegal.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
They then brought up evidence from the original trial, with GPS evidence proving that Melly was seen sprinting down a street and hiding in a bush while the crime was going down.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sak and Juvy? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Melly's defense team also mentioned how there was never even a firearm found for the crime, making it more likely that a drive-by could have been the cause.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what